I hereby summon all my imps. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. Since all the locations have been revealed, I'm going to go over how I feel about the locations and do them from where I feel they are the best, from where I feel they are the worst, to where I feel they are the best. And talk about them as we go forward a little bit. And just do a kind of a location review. So this is going to be the top 10 locations. The number 10 for me is the Vile Library. The Vile Library is the Warlock one, which is the 2 cost and has 2 durability, which has the ability to give a creature on your field that's a friendly creature +1/+1, and then repeats for each imp you control. So the issue that I have with this one, and why this one is the lowest one on my board so far, is simply due to the fact that, because of the fact that you need imps. Giving something +1/+1 is not that great. You're basically trying to get like a +3/+3 on a good day. So if you can get up to +4/+4, you're talking Blessing of Kings, which would require 3 imps. You need to have 3 imps on the board for this to be valuable. You're giving your opponent a chance to basically wipe whatever you put out on the field. Now, on the other hand, if there's ever a turn where your opponent can't kill a minion on the board, and then all of a sudden you can slam down 3 imps, that's a Blessing of Kings. So this is basically a Blessing of Kings sitting in the background, but only if you have imps. I almost wish this was something other than imps. I get why it's imps, because of Rafaam, and when Rafaam comes down, if you have this down already, that's going to be like +5/+5 if Rafaam lives, or any of even your imps live. But that's the thing. It's not for each imp you've played, it's not for each imp that's died, it's for each imp that's currently on the board. So you have to control them. Not in your hand, not in your graveyard, on the field. Imps are squishy, and that's the issue that I have with this one, so that's why this one happens to be my number 10. Number 9 for me is going to be the Sanguine Depths. Sanguine Depths is the 1-mana warrior card that says deal 1 damage to a minion and give it +1 attack. It's a 1-drop, 3/3 durability card, and it's basically a worse Abusive Sergeant. You'd almost be better off playing Abusive Sergeant and just letting that go off. The number of times where it's going to be effective for giving something Abusive Sergeant stats, I'm not sure when that's coming around. That's the issue that I have with this one, is just the fact that you play this, you're basically oh, thank you so much. I do appreciate the follow. I really do appreciate the follow. Thank you so much, Kane. I really do appreciate the follow. I do. So, what I'm having with this one is the fact that you're basically either giving something +1 attack or you're doing 1 damage to it. Not sure. I almost wish this would give it Rush instead. That would be a good thing to have this have Rush on here. So that would be better. It's I don't know how many times you're going to care about doing 1 damage. It's a pen flinger sitting in your back that has 3 charges on it. So, it is a pen flinger sitting in the background. It does give 1 damage, but there's so little time you're going to care about doing 1 more damage. And the fact that you have to deal 1 more damage to your own creature to give it that +1 attack. So it's basically just the Penflayer 9 times out of 10. But the one time that you're not killing your creature and letting go, and none of the effects from the Barons are seeing play for Warrior. If this was our rogue card, it'd be great, but for Warrior, they don't care. I don't know what you're caring about doing 1 damage to again. Next one for us is going to be number 8. 8 for us is going to be the Hedge Mage. The Hedge Mage is the Druid one, which basically says trigger a friendly minion's death rattle. The issue that I'm having with this one and why it's number 8 is the fact that I'm not sure what Death Rattle Druid wants to use right now. If this was a Hunter card, yeah, I'm just not sure what Death Rattle Druid cares about right now. I'm not sure where you want this to be. What you're casting this on. You know, the fact that, you know, there was the turtle way back in the day that kind of did the same thing that was about the same power. I'm just not sure Druid needs this. Druid wants this. Again, the problem I have with this one in SRL, I just don't know what Death Rattle Druid wants right now. Next up for us is going to be our number 7. The number 7 for us is going to be the Cathedral of Atonement, which is the Priest one, which is the 3 mana, 3 charge. This one, it's good because it's +2/+1 in draw. Never underestimate the power of a draw. The problem with this is you do need a creature out on the board, and that's a little hard for Priest sometimes to have a creature on the board. Priest isn't the stickiest of classes. There are some new ones that are coming out that are sticky. And worst case scenario, you can use this on an opponent's minion. And the nice thing about this one is you can bank it down on 3. And then at any turn that you cast a minion, you play a minion, bam, +2/+1 draw a card. So the problem with this is you're basically taking a useless turn 3. And on turn 3, that's not the end of the world because you're not usually doing a lot of things on turn 3. That's like almost pass a lot of times. But on the other hand, you know, if you get this on turn 7, turn 8, and you don't have a minion, it's going to be a sad card if you don't have a minion and you top deck this. That's the problem with this. Next up for us is going to be number 6, which for us is the Great Hall. The reason that I have the Great Hall on 6 is because of the fact that the Great Hall is the Paladin card, and it's the 2 mana 3 charge, so you can drop this on 2. The issue that I have with this, and the reason that it's kind of low, is the fact that it sets a minion's health and attack to 3. And there's a lot of times where you're going to be setting your own thing to 3, and there's going to be a lot of times where you're setting your opponent's thing to 3. And the thing with that is that when you're setting your thing to 3, you got to be at a point where 3 makes sense to you. Do you want to use this on a soldier, on a dude from Paladin to make dude Paladin? To have a 3/3 come out on the board? This is more saying that, hey, you play a big scary creature that doesn't have a battle cry and doesn't have a death rattle, it's gonna die. But if you basically saying that here, if you ever play down a creature and I don't want to deal with it, you play down a big taunt, you play down a big 20/20 or whatever, I'm going to turn it into a 3/3. Other than that, we pretty much don't care. I don't know if you're ever going to care if your opponent plays this and makes one of their minions a 3/3, because at that point they basically either want to trigger a death rattle on their own and just need it to get really low to trigger a death rattle, or they've already used a good portion of that minion's ability. Next up for us is going to be number 5, which for us is the Relic Vault. The Relic Vault is right about dead center. I keep looking through the relics. I keep wanting the relics to be this thing where, we go crazy over the relics. And people sit there and go, oh my god, the relics are broken, we need to nerf them. Right now, the relics just seem fair. And I'm not sure in Hearthstone if you can have fair cards, And again, if I knew how it did the cast twice, this might go up. If it gives you +1 more charge for the second cast, that'd be interesting and be useful at times. If they both cast at the same time, it's a little bit sad. And the fact that they only have 3 relics means that this card is not getting any more support unless they do something in the mini set. This is the only set you're going to see relics, and I don't even think you're going to see any in the mini set and down the road, so this location becomes less and less valuable as you travel through the rest of the expansions going forward. Because the only deck this works in is a relic deck, and that's why this one is so low, because if the relics don't work, this just doesn't work at all. Next up for us is going to be number 4, which means we're starting to get into some of the better cards. 4 for us is the Castle Kettle. Castle Kettle is the 2 cost 3 charge hunter one that says give a minion +2 attack. If it's a beast, give it rush. Again, you're basically playing an abusive sergeant without the drawback. You're playing an abusive sergeant, but this also has the ability of giving something rush. Hunter doesn't play at this point board. If Hunter starts playing board, this card could be interesting, but right now with the quest out, I don't know if Hunter's going to play this. This card by itself is good. I don't think this card is bad. It's basically an abusive sergeant. It's 3 abusive sergeants on your board that can have the possibility of the rush up chart of rush upsell. But I just don't know if Hunter cares. Hunter right now with the quest, as long as Defend the Dwarven District is on the board, I'm not sure if this card is going to see play. I have to look through when all the Hunter cards are revealed down the road and see if anything from Hunter makes sense to play with Defend the Dwarven District running right now. And that's the problem. It's a good card. I just don't know if Hunter has it as a good card. That's the issue. Next up for us is going to be number 3, so we're getting into the top cards here for us. Number 3 for us is going to be the Mage card, which is the Sanctum. Nightclub Sanctum. And Nightclub Sanctum is the one that says 3 mana, 3 durability, freeze a minion, and then summon a 2/2 skeleton. That, to me, is a good card for Mage. It's a good card for pretty much anybody. Anytime you can freeze something, you're basically saying that's not attacking next turn. And you get a 2/2 back. So there's going to be a lot of times where you can almost trade back. You're saying that's not attacking. You have to deal with my 2/2, or my 2/2 is going to basically go straight into that, and it's going to die. And you don't need the Kalkazal for this card to be good. This is just a freeze effect. Freeze effects have always been good. Just saying for something, and at any time you're going to be worried about putting out any minion knowing that if this is ever down on your opponent's side of the field, you're going to put down a minion unless it has rush or charge. You're going to be sitting there going, well, my minion's not attacking that turn if it hasn't been blown last turn. That's the good thing about freeze. Freeze is just a good spell, and again, you get the 2/2 on the top of it. There's going to be times where you might even freeze one of your own minions just to get the 2/2 up and running. So, I think this one is really good. The next one up from us is number 2, so this is the Bronze Star, or the Bronze Medal, I should say. And this one for us is the Mukpool. Mukpool is the one for Shaman. This is the one that is the 1 mana 3 charge, evolve a friendly minion, so it's one more. There are so many times where you're going to have this down and you're going to play something and it just trades in and you're going to evolve it. You're going to be happy with that evolve. There's going to be times where somebody frogs something or sheeps something and you're going to be able to evolve out of it. There's going to be times where you get a random drop on your time of the field and you're going to be able to evolve out of it. Taking something that's a 3/3 and trading into a 2/2 and then making it a 4/4 is a lot to do. You basically took a 3/3 into a 2/2 and then changed it into a 4/4, and that's a normal just 3-drop going into a 4-drop. This is a lot of times +4 stats, +5 stats. This is a lot to do, and sometimes you're going to roll into a good death rattle, and if you get a good death rattle, you're happy. Sometimes you're going to play a battle cry, and you don't care what you roll into because your battle cry is going to be, you already used the battle cry, and anything is better than this battle cry. So if you got a bad battle cry, you play this down, you get a good card after that, you're happy. So this is one of the scarier of the location cards. And the last location card for us is going to be my number 1 pick. So this is the one that I am the most interested in to look at, and this is going to be the Sintone Raver. And I originally gave this a way lower rank than I did because I didn't realize something in the past. This is the 2 mana 2 durability that summons a 1/1 stealth ghost, and that's what I didn't realize when I first reviewed this card. That card is stealthed. You don't need much for this card to be scary. Even a 1/1 stealth sometimes is just good enough because it's not stealth till on the turn. It's perm stealth until you attack. You cast 2/3 spells, you get a 4/4. Having a 4/4 that at any time can just attack you is scary. And then if you can throw some more stuff on it, there's going to be times where somebody does 6 things in a turn and you've got a 7/7 that basically it's almost impossible for you to get rid of. And you're taking that 7 either to a creature or either to your face. And it's not hard to have 6 things go off and then use a charge on this. And you can have this sitting out on the board. This is basically saying at any time your opponent does something crazy, at the end of that turn he can just use a charge to get rid of this and make a big creature that you then have to deal with. And it's stealthed, and stealth is hard to deal with. So a lot of times that's going to hit you straight in the face. So this is why I think it's the best card. I originally gave this a way lower rating because I didn't know that this had stealth on it, but the fact that that's stealth means that's a scary card. It doesn't even need to be that big. 4/4 stealth for 1 mana, okay. Next turn you can't use it again, but next turn after that, another 4/4 stealth. So this on a bad day is like 8/8 worth of stats spread over 3 turns. This is the scariest card so far of the locations. But other than this one, and so for my opinion, and this is just my opinion, the rogue one's good, the shaman one is good, and even the mage one is good, but once you get past mage, really, you're not having anything that I would say is completely broken. Oh, a lot of the rest of these are tech cards. A lot of these don't fit in the class that's using them. So, and even the mage one, yeah, it's annoying, but would you run tech for it? I don't think so. The only ones I could see you possibly running tech for are the rogue and the mage. And even the rogue, I mean, that's 2 out of 10, you know. I don't see any of the rest of them you're running tech for. And even on the 2 that are broken, they're not running tech for them, and those are the most broken ones. So, I hope that there are more locations that come out with the mini set. I know there's going to be locations in the future. They said this is going to be an evergreen feature. It's not just this set. But I hope that the mini set has at least one more location. And honestly, I would like to see some neutral locations. I'd like to see some set locations. I think it's okay to have a neutral location. I think it's okay to have a neutral spell down the road. But locations, I think you can make a neutral location and be okay with it, especially for a set. Imagine when Barons came out, if this card was a neutral card, a neutral location that was just like called Baron's Battlefield or something like that. For the amount of enrage that you had, not enrage, whatever it was, the honor, the effect that basically made it so that you did something if you didn't die that turn. With Barons, this one would have been good. But as a neutral location, and I think you can have neutral locations in the battle down the road. If this came out as a neutral location, this would be fine. But only when Barons came out. By now, there's not enough people who are playing any of those effects. But down the road, when stuff came out, imagine if you had a location in the future, like last set, where it was like, mechs get +1/+1, you know? Give a mech +1/+1, or give a creature +1/+1 for each mech you control. You know, you can have stuff that's meant for the actual, card set. Not just meant for a specific class. And I think that's okay for a location. So I hope that in the future locations get better. Right now they don't seem like they're that good. I would watch out for the rogue one, the shaman one, and the mage one. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember, play for fun.